Yeah, now let's understand how to solve this particular set where set A is equal to x such that square root of x is equal to 16. We need to find whether this particular set is a singleton set or not. Now how do we proceed with this? First thing is you need to look at this particular equation which says that square root of x is equal to 16. What this actually means is there is some value of x for which 16 is the square root. Like for example, square roots, you will have to know first of all what square roots are. If you don't know, I recommend you to go and first learn the basics chapter in which I have covered square roots. Okay, so like square root of 4 is 2 and 2 square is equal to 4 square roots. So this is a square, this is a square, and these are square roots. Okay, so square roots are nothing but raised to the power half of the power. So raised to half of the power. So what I mean by this is, if I say square root of 4, what I mean is it is the 4 is raised to half. When I raise 4 to half, I mean it is a square root of 4. Okay, and this why this is 2 is I need to understand the theory behind powers or raising the base into the power. So this is the base part and this is the power part. Oh, now when I look at the base is 4. Base is 4. I have to basically understand base raised to half is square root of 4. Now I know that 2 raised to 2 is 4 and raised to half is square root of 4. So using the theory of power, what I get is 2 raised to 2 into half, which is 2 ones are 2, which is 2. So square root of 4 is 2. So similarly, there is some x for which the square root is 16. So how do I find this out? Now let's by logic what we will do is we will square both the LHS and the RHS. Okay, so when I square LHS, I get x. Understand this and apply it over here. You will know why I got x. So x is raised to half. Okay, whole raised to 2. Okay, so now x is equal to half and 16 squares is 256. So x, which is, so I know that square root of 256 is equal to 16. So there is only this number, only a single number for which the square root is 16. So I can say that this particular set is a singleton set. If I take any other value, I will not get 16 as the square root. Okay, so there are two fundamental things you need to understand over here. One is theory of powers and other is how to do square roots. So if you want to learn more about square roots, I recommend you go to my fundamental section and learn powers, theory of powers and theory of square root to understand more of this particular problem. Okay, now let's jump on to the second problem. Now let's attempt the second question. My single G is gone, so just a minute. Okay, my second question for whether the set is a singleton is B, set B is equal to Y such that Y square is equal to 36. Okay, so now you have understood that this particular formula is basically, it is asking me what is that single value, what is that value of y when it is raised to 2, what is the value of the variable y when it is raised to 2 will give me 36. So let's take these values. So y, if y is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So can I'll raise one square. If y is equal to 1, then it is 1 square, then 1, this is 1, so 1 is not equal to 36, so this is gone. Now I'll take y is equal to 2, then my y becomes 4, which is also not equal to 36, right? So similarly, if I go till 6, now 6, if I replace y with 6 for y square, what I get is 6 the whole square. 6 the whole square is 6 6 the 36. So this 6 is the R number. So when y is equal to 6, so it's a singleton set where y is equal to 6, it gives me, y square gives me 36. So this is also a singleton set. Now let's do the third sum, which is it says set C is equal to P such that P is an element of I. I is what? It's an integer. P cubed is equal to minus 8. Okay, now let's see how this can be worked out. So we know that there is one condition where P, the value of P is a variable here and its value is an integer. So integer, if you remember, they range from minus infinity to plus infinity. You have to define infinity over here, plus and minus infinity. Okay, if you define that number which is an infinity number, okay, so that is it is a minus of that number to the plus of that number which you have taken as infinity is your integer number. Okay, so now you take this particular formula over here, this particular equation, not the formula, particular equation which says P when raised to 3 is minus 8. So as we learned earlier, P is a variable. There is some value of P when it is raised to 3, when it is raised 3 times. So if I say P is equal to 1, P is raised 3 times. So when I raise anything to 3 times, it is 1 into 1 into 1. I have raised it to 3 times. Okay. So if I say 4, I'll raise it to 4 times. So I'll only add another 1 to it, multiply again 1 to it. Now, so coming back to our problem, let's see if P is equal to 1, we have seen 1. So I have 1 whole raised to 3, which is basically 1 into 1. Okay, so this is not possible, and this is equal to 1 only, so we don't get it. So let's take P is equal to minus 1, again minus 1 whole raised to 3, which is minus 1 in minus 1, let me write it properly, yeah, minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1. So again minus 1 into minus 1 is plus 1 into minus 1 is minus 1 again. So again it is not equal to the RHS. Now consider P is equal to 2. Okay, P is equal to 2. P is equal to minus 2. Let's take P is equal to minus 2. Now let's check it out, where P raised to 3 is equal to minus 2 whole raised to 3. Minus 2 whole raised to 3 is nothing but minus 2 into minus 2 into minus 2, which is equal to this minus 2 into minus 2 is plus 4 into minus 2, which is minus 8. Okay, so we have got it. So what this actually means is, when P is equal to minus 2, then only the P cube is minus 8. So we have got a singleton reply to it. So if we take any other number, you will not get it. Another way is basically a shortcut to all this, or not a shortcut, rather it also teaches you the fundamentals of square root. When I say P anything, okay, I'll give you a syntax for this. Syntax means a formula for this, which says when A is equal to N, then N square root of A. So sorry, let me just put this, yeah, it's a pause here. I'm continuing the cut here and start now. Okay, so when I'll give you the formula is, when A is raised to N is equal to, when A raised to N is equal to B, then A is equal to N root B. So taking this formula, what you get is, if P raised to 3 is minus 8, that means P is equal to cube root of 8 or minus 8. Let it plus. Okay, cube root of minus 8, which is cube root of minus 8 is nothing but 8 minus 8 raised to 3, and we know that 2 cube is equal to 8, so which is raised to 3, which is equal to minus 2 whole raised to 3 into 1 by 3. Here I have made a mistake. This is actually 1 by 3. So minus 8 raised to 1 by 3. Okay, let me just rub this whole thing off and then start from the beginning. Okay. So the formula is basically A raised to N is equal to B, then A is equal to N root B. So here we have, just take this parallelly. So look at this, P cube, so N is 3 and P is A over here. The variables have changed, N value has changed, is equal to minus 8. Now here we know that now P is equal to cube root of minus 8. Now we can solve this by saying P is equal to, and another thing is anything raised to square root, cube root of anything is nothing but a raised to 1 by 3. If it is 5 root of a, then 5 root of a, then it is nothing but a raised to 1 by 5th. Okay, that way square root is nothing but 2 root a, which is equal to a raised to half. Okay, so now we know that cube root a is nothing but minus 8 raised to 1 by 3, and we know that 8 is 2 raised to 3. Sorry, this is 3, 1 by 3. So 2 raised to 3 raised to 1 by 3. So now you have minus 2 raised to 3 into 1 by 3. By the theory of powers, we have 1. So now minus 2 raised to 1, anything raised to 1 is the same number. So here we have written a singleton set, which is minus 2 when it is raised to 3, you get minus 8. Okay, so this is also a singleton set.